So what?
Eazy-E or Suge Knight?
Damn, give me
I love that. Be a little too. I can't choose neither. Tupac or Nipsey? You take a shot.
take another.
Dr. Dre or Puff Daddy?
Dr. Dre. You know this Puffy show, y'all gonna cut this out. Just so you know, Puffy's sons and my sons have been best friends since they were 6, 7 years
Make some
old.
noise from that.
I didn't make it happen and Puffy didn't make it happen. One night I was at my house and Puffy's son was over about like 9 o'clock and I'm like, cuz, what time you going home? And he like, I'm spending the night.
When I die, I want my last words to be, I did it.
You walk into a party, standing in there is Puffy, Dre, Snoop.
Right.
What do you say?
First of all, you know I don't go to those type of parties. You know, I'm straight.
Me and my man Snoop was saying, y'all, there ain't no East Coast, West Coast beef.
I swear. We ain't coming to talk about nothing behind us. We come to talk about what's ahead of us.
Yeah.
We here to make a difference, you know what I'm saying? So we want y'all to stay in school and keep y'all heads in y'all books.
No doubt, knowledge is power, y'all.
Because, you know, we're the future, so it's on us to make a change.
I was often confused because I knew things and I wasn't sure how I knew them. I knew things that I felt like I don't have a reason that I know this, but I love to read. I was voracious because they told me when I was young that knowledge was powerful, that knowledge was power.
Remember when Katt Williams went on Club Shay Shay and dropped those wild truth bombs, and everyone swore he'd lost his mind? Yeah, about that. Turns out, the crazy one might have been the only one telling the truth. Back then, Steve Harvey got so tense he couldn't even keep the conversation going. But fast forward to now, federal witnesses are reportedly naming Snoop Dogg in sealed testimonies, and Kim Porter's real diary is said to contain compromising photos. Suddenly, all those so-called crazy claims Katt made aren't sounding so crazy anymore. They're starting to look a whole lot like evidence.
Connected my kids with Puff kids, and they formed a friendship and a bond. When Justin went to UCLA, my son went to UCLA. When Christian was rapping, my son was rapping. When he was modeling, they was flying over the world together. So they forged a friendship and a brotherhood.
Look, I'd like to thank Snoop and Puff for stopping by and dropping this knowledge on you all. All right, now, any questions?
Yeah, so Mr. Hightower, who you gonna let sample your song?
Yeah, Steve. I talked to my man Shook. He's gonna charge us half of what you was trying to charge us.
Turned down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
I'm not poking anything. I'm asking y'all reaction to seeing him on Club Shay Shay talking with Shannon Sharp.
Ain't nobody say, you know, the thing about it is, man, that at the end of the day, it's all entertainment. We all brothers in this game. It's all entertainment.
What's happening now isn't just gossip. It's receipts finally coming to life. While Hollywood scrambles to detach itself from Diddy's collapsing empire, the same names Katt once dared to mention are suddenly being whispered in federal courtrooms. It's wild, almost prophetic, like we're watching everything he warned about unfold in real time. 4 years, mainstream outlets mocked him, calling him unstable, unhinged, another comedian spiraling out. But what if that meltdown everyone laughed at was really a breakthrough? Because one by one, those so-called crazy predictions are turning into verifiable facts, backed by court filings and federal documents. While Hollywood chased fame, awards, and million-dollar deals, Katt was collecting something far more dangerous: truth. 3 decades of it. He wasn't just telling jokes, he was documenting everything. Watching, remembering, storing evidence of what really happens behind the red carpets and private jets. When he finally spoke out, the industry froze. Because Katt didn't think he knew, he knew. And that's exactly what terrifies the people at the top. While other comedians played it safe, Katt built a vault of secrets capable of shaking the entire entertainment hierarchy. And here's where it gets even deeper. Candace Owens, one of the few fearless voices unafraid to call out power, actually backed him up. She reminded viewers that many had hinted at these same claims for years, but Katt was the first to say them out loud, repeatedly, and without backing down. She even noted that during his interview with Shannon Sharpe, long before the lawsuits dropped, Katt confidently said he'd tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And sure enough, not long after that, the lawsuits started flooding in, naming some of the biggest players in the music industry. One of the most shocking, a case pointing directly at Universal Music Group, accusing it of sitting at the very top of a disturbing, well-guarded operation. According to those claims, Diddy wasn't the puppet master everyone thought he was. He was allegedly taking orders from someone higher up, a man named Lucian Grange.
Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is, to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it for all of its precious jewels.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met.
Now, here's where things take a dark turn. The lawsuit suggested that Diddy and Grange had a personal relationship and that Grange not only knew about these secret parties, but might have been involved himself. Candace broke it down perfectly. Diddy was the face, but Lucian Grange was the power behind the curtain. Universal knew. Everyone played their part. But instead of digging into those claims, what did the media do? They attacked Candace for even talking about it. They mocked her for reading the lawsuit and brushed off the possibility of an organized ring in Hollywood. She said she was stunned by how quickly the focus shifted from the actual allegations to silencing anyone asking questions. That's when you realize this isn't about Diddy. This is about control. Candace's tone made it clear she wasn't just defending Katt Williams. She was confirming that his information had been spot on for years. Katt had been exposing those hidden connections long before any investigator stepped in. And now it's all catching up. Every secret, every whisper, every crazy claim suddenly doesn't sound so crazy anymore. Candace Owens didn't just agree with Katt Williams. She confirmed he knew what was going on long before the public did. She pointed out that Katt had inside knowledge of Diddy's alleged ties to Lucian Grange and that those same details later showed up in federal court filings. Think about that for a second. The man everyone called paranoid was actually years ahead of the investigation.
And anyone who takes that the wrong way know why they take it the wrong way.
So Katt Williams said it. The lawsuit started coming out right after he said it, and he said all would be exposed. He heavily implied, and this is again an allegation, that Lucian Grange was having some sort of a relationship with Diddy. So he is the person that controls Diddy, that Lucian Grange was aware of these parties, that Universal Music Group was aware of these parties. Essentially, that Diddy is the thug and the gangster working on behalf of Lucian Grange.
Candace didn't hold back. She made it clear that labeling people as conspiracy theorists is one of the oldest tricks in the book, a tactic used to shut down uncomfortable truths before they gain traction. She said she wasn't afraid to ask questions, especially when there's video evidence of people committing serious crimes and somehow walking away untouched. To her, that wasn't coincidence, it was insanity, and proof that something far more sinister was operating beneath Hollywood's polished surface. Then she said the part that made everyone's jaw drop, the line most people are too scared to even whisper. Hollywood, she claimed, isn't just an entertainment industry. It's a gang. According to Candace, it doesn't function like a creative business filled with agents and executives calling the shots. It runs like a criminal network, built on protection, loyalty, and silence. Those inside the system get covered. Those who speak out, they get buried.
So Drake and Diddy's sugar daddy was just revealed, and wow guys, so Lil Rod's lawsuit revealed that Diddy's entire lifestyle was financed by a man named Lucian Grange. Lucian is a powerful man in the music industry, as he's the CEO of Universal Music Group that owns labels like Motown Records and is partnered with Roc Nation. Kanye West revealed that Lucian is like a sugar baby daddy to rappers like Drake and Diddy. Essentially, these rappers are given everything they want in exchange for favors, like the kind of stuff you learned at Diddy's Flavor Camp. In Lil Rod's lawsuit, Lucian was actually sent a summons because he was named as someone who would attend these FO parties. Present at these FO parties were not of age ex-workers, as well as supplies. This is how business deals would go down. Drake and Diddy have been said to be on their knees for Lucian Grange.
And when someone with Candace's reputation for fearlessly calling out corruption says that Diddy was being protected by this so-called Hollywood gang, that's when it stops sounding like entertainment and starts looking like an empire built on blackmail, power, and absolute control. The question isn't whether Katt Williams was right anymore. The real question is, how many others are caught in that same web of silence and compromise? Because now, the things Katt once hinted at aren't rumors, they're being echoed in federal documents, sealed testimonies, and grand jury proceedings. The investigation has started pulling back the curtain, and what's coming out is darker than anyone imagined. One witness in particular sent shockwaves through the entire case, a man named Courtney Burgess. He claimed to possess a digital archive of evidence from Diddy's infamous private freak-off parties, 11 flash drives in total. According to his statement, those drives originally came from the late Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his children. What's allegedly on them, investigators say, could change everything.
Do you have a particular current status of a case, either as a witness or as a subject or anything at this point?
No. I waived all that I wasn't going to be a witness, and I didn't want to have nothing to do with the case.
And this is as far as a grand jury, or just in terms of...
I was summoned twice to the grand jury. I was summoned just the other day, and my attorney sent me a letter to waive that I wasn't coming, that I didn't want to be involved. I didn't want to be a witness.
Is this a federal or state? It's federal grand jury.
Federal.
Right?
Federal.
And did you at any time take the fifth or ask for immunity or?
No, I went before one. I think they had me for the 29th. I was too far out to be there, so I came that Thursday. And when that was the last day I was there, that's when they took my phone.
Burgess claimed those flash drives contained hours of footage. 8 celebrities in total, 6 men and 2 women, all allegedly recorded at Diddy's private events while intoxicated or under the influence. Along with the videos, there was said to be a mysterious manuscript that claimed to be Kim Porter's unfinished memoir, though her family has strongly denied its authenticity. Before stepping into court, Burgess had already discussed parts of his story on his podcast, but once he appeared before a federal grand jury, everything shifted. Under oath, his tone changed. He admitted he couldn't share details publicly, the evidence was too sensitive, and the names involved were too powerful. Federal investigators reportedly know exactly who the people in those videos are, but their identities remain sealed, protected behind strict confidentiality orders. That's when reality sank in for everyone following the story. This wasn't rumor anymore. This was evidence, the kind handled by prosecutors, not bloggers. Courtney Burgess, under sworn testimony, described 11 flash drives said to contain explicit footage involving 8 recognizable figures alongside Sean Diddy Combs, 6 men, 2 women, all visibly impaired. Even major news outlets approached it cautiously, reporting the claims with deliberate wording. They confirmed that the individuals seen in those recordings were considered alleged victims in an ongoing investigation. During one on-air segment, a host even referenced a passage from an adult-themed book where Snoop Dogg was reportedly described in a compromising situation with Diddy, a detail that, if verified, could send shockwaves across the entertainment industry.
I've known about Kim's book, or what was supposed to be her book, this entire time. The truth is, Diddy was highly paranoid right before Kim passed away. And when he found out that her and Cassie were still secretly talking and meeting, it became a very explosive situation for everyone who knew about it. Pieces of that memoir have been acquired by the home team, and that bad actors were incorporated so that they could put just enough spin to create reasonable doubt in the jury pool. It's a smart play, but not with Kim's words.
The room went quiet before someone murmured that men don't usually hold hands like that. The silence quickly shifted to unease as more disturbing revelations surfaced. Rumors of Diddy, Neo, and others allegedly involved in conduct that blurred the boundary between celebration and exploitation began to spread.
Watch how Snoop Dogg chooses between Dr. Dre and Diddy, and this might be the fastest answer ever on the Drink Champ show.
Cube or Scarface?
Ice Cube.
Yeah. That's a hard one.
Ice Cube is my OG, Scarface is my peer.
Illmatic or Ready to Die?
Biggie Small, Ready to Die?
Yeah.
I love it when they call me Big Pop. Was that on there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Biggie.
Corrupt or Method Man?
Damn.
Take a shot?
I'm gonna take a shot on that one.
DJ Quick or Daz?
But I gotta go with DJ Quick. I know Daz gonna be mad at me, but so what?
Eazy-E or Suge Knight?
Damn. Give me
I love that. Tupac or Nipsey? You take a shot.
Take another shot.
Dr. Dre or Puff Daddy?
Dr. Dre. I know this Puffy show, y'all gonna cut that.
This wasn't about orientation. It was about control. Suge insisted that artists were being manipulated and kept obedient by those in power, warning that unless people started speaking out, the same abuses would continue endlessly. He even claimed Diddy was both pawn and player, molded by industry giants before him, Russell Simmons, Andre Harrell, and Clive Davis among them. It was all part of a long-standing structure that's ruled the entertainment world for decades. This wasn't a fresh conspiracy. It was the industry's original design. From his prison cell, Suge had nothing left to lose and seemed intent on finally being heard. His words tore away the veil on something far larger than gossip. What he described wasn't random immorality. It was an organized cycle where victims evolve into abusers as they rise. It parallels what prosecutors now outline in Diddy's federal investigation, a maze of coercion, manipulation, and silence. Suge didn't soften his blows. He argued there's no need for insiders to leak information when the evidence is visible to all. According to him, figures like P. Diddy, Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Snoop, and Dre are fully aware of the truth. Yet no one talks. When investigators close in, those same stars who once shared the spotlight disappear instantly, pretending they were never connected. That silence, Suge said, isn't chance, it's protection. These weren't friendships. They were alliances built on secrets. When one collapses, the rest scatter to survive.
You walk into a party, standing in there, it's Puffy, Dre, Snoop.
Right.
What do you say?
First of all, you know I don't go to those type of parties. You know, I'm straight.
Cube or Scarface?
Ice Cube.
Dr. Dre or Puff Daddy?
Dr. Dre. I know this Puffy show, y'all gonna cut the shit out, but I don't care. Cut the show.
No, he Illmatic or Ready to Die?
You talking about Biggie Small, Ready to Die?
Yeah. Just take a shot, Snoop. Come on.
I'm gonna go with Biggie.
Tupac or Nipsey?
Wow.
Just take a shot.
I'm gonna take another shot.
But Chew has nothing left to protect. Serving a life sentence, he isn't defending a career or image anymore. And that's exactly what gives his words more weight. When someone in his situation begins exposing names and outlining how blackmail fuels the entertainment world, it sounds less like rumor and more like sworn testimony. Especially now that his statements mirror what federal investigators are uncovering in Diddy's ongoing case.
Knight recently said he used to be a superstar and now he's just a no-limit soldier. What do you say to that?
And he used to be a CEO, now he's just an inmate.
Then came the viral storm, the boiled egg test. It began as a strange online rumor until Suge allegedly clarified it himself. Diddy, he claimed, would give someone a boiled egg, and they were expected to demonstrate their loyalty by placing it somewhere without cracking it. At first, people dismissed it as a joke, but as more accounts appeared, the story grew increasingly sinister. Suge portrayed it as a twisted initiation rite, a demonstration of obedience required before stepping into the industry's inner circle.
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who is. Yeah. Well, I mean, so when he comes out of sedation, I'm sure anybody who gets will tell you who shot them, right?
Yeah.
But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK. And if nobody shot him, that's the same person that shot Malcolm X too. It's a lot of nobodies out there, and nobody minds if nobody comes up missing, right? That don't bother nobody, does it? Certainly doesn't bother.
According to online speculation, even Snoop Dogg allegedly took part. One fan pointed out his strange obsession with boiled eggs, posting, eating, and joking about them endlessly. On its own, it looked innocent enough. But once you align it with the accusations, the rituals, and the active investigations, it stops being funny. Because this so-called test was never about food. It symbolized submission, proof of how far someone would go for status, security, and access within Hollywood's most secretive empire. And when those same elite circles start crumbling under federal scrutiny, innocent people usually react with alarm or disbelief. The guilty ones act indifferent, overly composed, or start subtly rewriting their narrative. That's precisely how Snoop behaved when questioned about Diddy. He claimed surprise, said he tries to be a fair boss, that he understands how mistreatment feels. It was polished, measured, and almost too precise. Every sentence came off rehearsed, a PR monologue masquerading as sincerity. Instead of outrage or compassion, it reeked of damage control. Observers picked up instantly. Innocent people speak from heartache, not strategy. Snoop's comments felt like image management, a calculated attempt to redirect focus from the scandal back onto himself as the morally grounded one. Yet when you take a wider look, from Kim Porter's secret evidence to Suge Knight's testimony, from Tupac's unexplained hospital saga to the bizarre boiled egg tales, it all appears to connect to one intricate network of dominance. The same machinery that has governed entertainment for generations.
Now, do you think that Diddy Kim Porter?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to, or at least chapters, because of everything that she had on him, because of the tape that she used to blackmail him into a relationship and into a raise of him being sodomized by Andre Harrell. And I am not saying that allegedly, because I heard her and Kim Moore talking about it in the booth of the bathroom while snorting at the Kit Kat Club.
Hey.
And that leaves one chilling question. If Snoop Dogg stands as one of hip-hop's most celebrated figures, was he allegedly entangled in this for years? How many others are still caught within the same structure? How many of the idols we praise have been manipulated, muted, or controlled behind the curtain? Because when those confiscated recordings finally come to light and the names start emerging, the world won't just be stunned. They'll understand that this was never about music, it was always about power. A billion-dollar empire fueled not by artistry, but by exploitation. So, if you've stayed until now, you already know this story's only beginning. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and keep watching for the next revelation. Because if one thing's certain, it's that this saga is nowhere near its end.